Hi everyone, today I got myself an instant garage as they call it. This is from Clark, heavy duty instant garage. It's like a big tent. It's a fabric cover with a metal tubular frame. It had loads of good reviews online, and there was a bit of a deal going on. I think, was it about £350? So it doesn't seem too bad. The sizes are, it's 4.5 metres long by 3 metres wide by 2.4, which I think my digger, which really I want somewhere to keep it out of the weather, it goes in, but it's going to have a trouble going through the doorways, so I'm going to have to suss out how to do it. And also, as you see in my other videos, I've got a few other bits of equipment I want to keep sort of out of the weather, especially when winter coming. So I'm going to put this up, see how it goes. But as I said, I looked at reviews and it seemed pretty good, so I'm going to unbox it and see how we get on. See if I can install it on my own. It's pretty heavy, this box. You can't lift this on your own, so I'm going to unpack it and then take it out there. Hopefully it holds up to the wind, because it's quite open here and it's some days it gets really windy, so that's my biggest concern. But yeah, see how we get on. Right. These are the covers, I guess. Manual. I'm one of those people that never read these things, but I might give it a go. I'm guessing this may be the door. Box of bits. Oh yeah, it says it comes with these like anchors into soft ground. Some people screw them and stuff like that, but I might have to do a bit of reinforcing. I've got some really heavy concrete old curbstones I might use to hold it down, but yeah. So if you're buying one of these, don't buy the anchors because it comes already with it. And these are the poles. Jesus Christ. I think I'm going to have to spread it out and see what I've got. Right, because it's pretty warm in this conservatory, so yeah, I'm going to have a read of this and then I'm going to spread it out over there. Right, I've got all the bits. Let's see how we get on. Right, here we go. I said I wouldn't read the instructions, but I had to look at the pictures. It shows a diagram of where each section goes. It's all numbered, so each pole has a number to the corresponding pole. It has various fixtures, like it has like a spring loaded fitting, it has a push fit, and then it has a combination of a bracket and nuts and bolts. So you just have to follow it, he says. But you may spot the error that I'll do later. So here I'm building the top roof section. So I build the first outer one. Again, matching each number to each joint section, which is pretty straightforward, I must admit. You know, it's not difficult. I think what I fell down in, again, classic, not reading the instructions, is the outer sections that meet the walls, the joints. I had them upside down, so you'll see me later on. But here I am now, I'm just linking up each of the roof sections together with the individual poles. These poles here that you see, these are push fit. And you'll see later on when I come to install the end and front canopies, you basically have to pull them apart and loop over the cord that holds the panels in place. And I think that's probably why they didn't really do anything more permanent, like nuts and bolts or like a spring fixing. I think here I'm just checking some of the sizes. I had to go get tape measure just to make sure that, you know, again, you don't want to double up on the work, especially when you work on your own. So as you can see, the pitch of the roof section starting to come together now. So as I said in the measurements, this shelter is 2.4 meters at the very point. And here's where I think I realized that the curved brackets at the end, they were upside down. So again, if you don't want to double up the yeah, you can make sure this. So I'm just, yeah, it's quite simple, you know, because these are like a spring fit on the ends, so you just flip them round. It's nothing too difficult. And up to now, as you can see, you know, you can easily do this on your own. I think where it becomes difficult, and you may need some help, when you put the panels on, the fabric panels, the covering, yeah, you probably may need some help. But here, because the poles, they kind of move around a bit, it kind of tends to be a bit frustrating because you have to try and size it up before you start putting the panels on. So I kind of felt that my ground is a little bit uneven, so I got some wide boards, some 6-inch boards, laid them on the ground, and then I just fixed the upright poles to them just to give me, and then as you can see, I'm measuring it out to get the size, because as you see, the end panels, you have to stretch them over the frame, and I guess if the sizes are all out, it just makes life difficult. So that's why I was saying, if you're working on a concrete platform or a patio or something that's a solid ground and is reasonably flat, then I think, you know, it does make life a lot easier. And then, you know, which I've seen in other videos, you can just screw and fix them through to the concrete, which is a lot better. So I have to come up with something that's going to stop, as you can see, which is quite hilarious, me struggling with these panels in the wind. And also I apologise for the silly hat, but I needed that because I'm working out so much in this summer. I'm just getting constantly burnt. So I bought this fishing hat that kind of protects the back of your neck. There you go, this is the front section, this is where the doorway is. It's a shame really, because it doesn't go right to the roof, as you can see, so I have to come up with something where I may have to raise or dig a channel, as I said, in there to get my digger in, so I don't have to keep taking the protective roof cover off my little digger. So there you see me wrapping it round. So you basically just wrap it around the poles, and then it has like a cord, and then you just tighten it with these ratchets, and then basically it tightens it round the frame. I would like to have seen something, I don't know, something a bit more kind of, not permanent, but better, you know. But I don't know, it's not a permanent structure as they kind of class it, so if you buy one, see what you think. But here we go, side panels, which is where I needed some help. Right folks, there she is. Whoever said it takes a few hours to put this up, I don't know, is something special, because I've been playing around with this for 2 afternoons and I work with my hands for years. So I think what's made it a bit difficult is when you have uneven ground. I mean, it's designed to go on grass, but it still needs some fettling. It's still not happy with it, but it's going to serve its purpose. It's going to keep my equipment out of the rain, out of the weather, and I don't have to keep covering it in tarpaulin because it's just a pain. So that's what it is. It's not quite tall enough for me digger, so I might have to do like a little bit of a channel so it can go. It will sit inside, but to get it through the doorway, I'll show you. I'll do a little walkthrough and I'll show you what it's like and explain a few things. Right, I'm going to do you a quick walk around. If you're thinking of buying one of these Clark garage, you know, it'll give you an idea of what to expect. Calling it a garage is a bit of an overstatement, to be honest. I mean, it's a shelter to keep things out of the weather, but I don't know, the whole bottom bit is just a bit weird, and the way it overlaps, it definitely could be improvements, but I'll show you. And also the clips, they've got like straps which are quite good, you know, ratchet to thing it down, but the hooks at the end, they're the weak point. They keep popping off because it's flexible. So yeah, I'm gonna have to fettle with it. You know, it's definitely not perfect by any means. It's okay, I quite like it, and I like the fact, you know, you've got an instant kind of, well, not an instant, 2 days of messing around to get something to cover up like my digger. But yeah, it's definitely not perfect. You know, for the money, I suppose it's okay, but time will tell, and if it holds up to this weather. Anyway, I'll quickly show you inside. Obviously, you've seen other videos, that's my digger. And it gets me little lawnmower in okay. So that's kind of the inside of it. But yeah, if you look down, I don't know what's going on here. That is right. I'll show you quickly. These are the ratchets, if you haven't seen them. They're supposed to hold it into place, but they keep popping out. Look, see, any flex in them, so I'm going to have to bolt them through. And this, I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, again, you know, it's okay. I'm not dissing it, or I'm just not knocking it. It's okay, but it's definitely not perfect. And then the way these go on, like, you know, I don't know, they just fold. They could do with something better fixing, but I don't know, I guess for the money. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you a few things. It's okay, and hopefully it keeps the weather out, and hopefully it stays here, because the winds whip up here. So fingers crossed, see how it lasts. Hopefully it lasts a few years, just to keep these things while I'm working on this place, because I just can't be bothered to just keep covering up my equipment. And as you see, I'm using my garage so as a little workshop, so I needed something extra. Anyway, right, talking about holding it down, and I showed you with the issue with the straps, because the straps, I'll show you, they kind of bind it all together to make it watertight, I guess, on the corners. So they kind of wrap round, so, and then as you see, they wrap round in the inside, and then you crank it down the bottom, you crank it, and then it pulls this cord and tightens it all. It's an okay system, but it's no perfect. It's no way near perfect. And the other issue I've got is, especially on soft ground, which they kind of design them, they give you these things, these like spikes that screw in. I mean, they seem like a good idea, but it depends on the ground that you've got. My ground's quite solid. It's like a couple of feet of clay, and then it goes quite sandy. And I tell you what, I've tried getting one of these through, and bloody hell, you need to be the Incredible Hulk to twist these in. I mean, and they don't really give you anything to screw them in with. You know, you need some kind of lever bar to go through the eye there, and then twist and twist. Then you have to keep whacking it, and nah, it definitely don't work. So I'm going to have to come up with another system to fix this into place. I mean, I've seen people put weights, strap it down, lots of other ways of doing it. I mean, you could dig a little hole and then sit these in concrete, put a little concrete in a little concrete pad, and then, but I guess that's a bit more permanent. It depends on how long you want to leave this up. But I'm going to do it for a few years and then see what happens. Leave this up. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that, to hold this thing down. Right, I'm going to have to fettle around with it another day, but hopefully you like my video and it gives you an idea of what this thing is in reality. I mean, I watched a YouTube video of somebody showing me and it all sounded perfect, but he done it on a concrete base, which, you know, again, that's another thing, you know, having it on a flat ground helps a hell of a lot. I had to do some timber planks along the side. But anyway, if you're buying one, have fun, and yeah, see me on the next review. Right, my name's Mark, and that's my Clark garage.